Yo, what's good? It's story time, goddammit. Story time. It is story time. Yeah. What up, Flipper? Story time, man. Story time. So I'm not gonna stay on here too long. Think it's a few gems in what I'm about to talk about. Some things that people can learn, some things that you can take away, just based off of my experience. So I'm gonna just go ahead and get right into it. But happy Friday, everybody. Let's start there. You know what I'm saying? Hope everybody's having a great day, having a great week. What up? Yeah, I got him a treat, man. Shut him up for a minute. But yeah, so as some of you probably know or don't know, so I posted on my story, I think it was Wednesday, about this attorney that we used to do our deal, to close our deal for us. So this was our first time using this attorney. Typically, we're using our preferred attorney, but in this scenario, the only reason why we use this particular attorney, and I'm going to go ahead and say the name, Luter, Larkin, and Hunter out of Douglasville. Luter, Larkin, and Hunter out of Douglasville. The only reason why we use this attorney is because the seller preferred us to use the attorney, and that was his only thing to sign the contract. He was like, hey, I'll sign the contract only if you use this attorney. We said, okay, fine. Now, here's tip number one. If you've been closing deals with a specific attorney or title company or whatever, try to stick with that same one because you understand the ins and outs. You understand their processes. You understand how they work, things like that. Now, when you go outside of that, now you have to deal with a whole nother operation, a whole nother group of people to try to close your deal, who you're communicating with, shit like that. So that's just a rule of thumb right there. If you can, stick with your closing attorney or the title company that you prefer. That's rule number one. Yeah, that's fishy off the rip. Outcast. What attorney do you normally use? Normally we use Rand and Associates. So we like to use the attorneys that have that single office that we can talk to, we can call on the phone, we can walk in there, shake hands, whatever. Everybody knows what the fuck is going on. We don't like to use those attorneys that have 4, 5, 6, 7 offices, those big attorneys. That's just our personal preference. But yeah, so just understand if you're using somebody else's attorney, a title company, or a different one than you're not used to using, then just be ready and be prepared for some bullshit to happen, possibly, right? So that was the thing. So we use his attorney to perform the closing. So let me fast forward. So I'm going to do a lot of fast forward and rewinding. So Wednesday was our closing date, March 16th. That was the day we supposed to close on the deal, right? So I'm going to go back. So we started using the attorney, right? We're doing the thing. We're going through the transactions, whatever. They doing the title search, what have you. So last week, Thursday or Friday, we reached out. We asked them, hey, because we did all the inspection. We did everything we were supposed to do. The buyer came back with a number that worked. The deal was in the green. It was a profit. So we were good to go to close for the most part. So we checked with the attorney to see if the title was clean. The title search was completed. Everything was good. So then we reached out to the attorney on Thursday or Friday of last week. We asked them, hey, buyer's good, seller is good. Can we schedule closing for the 16th? Our initial closing date was for the 22nd. That's the original closing date that we had set. But since everything was good, title was clear, buyer was good, seller was good, we asked if we can push the closing sooner, which is be the 16th. So somebody in their office was like, yeah, we can do the 16th. So we like, okay, this was like Thursday or Friday of last week. So we reaching out for the HUD statement, because typically before closing, the attorney or title company, they should email you a settlement statement. The settlement statement or HUD statement is essentially saying, here is the money in the transaction. Here's what happened. Here's who's getting what. Here is what fees are taken out. Here's what this costs, etc. Here's what your profit would be. Here's what your profit would be. The whole nine. So typically that's what they do. They'll send you out a settlement statement before the closing, a few days before the closing. Now, the reason why we requested for Wednesday, the 16th, instead of like Monday, is because our buyer, in particular, they need at least 48 hours to review the settlement statement. They need 48 hours to review. There's like a closing package that they send off that they need information, right? Documents. So they need 48 hours to review that stuff. So we said, okay, if we set the closing for Wednesday, then I'll give them at least 48 hours, Monday, Tuesday, for sure, to review those documents. Cool. So Friday, we don't get no settlement statement. So we like, okay, something's already up. So we contact them on Monday. Hey, are we good to go to close on Wednesday? Just want to double check to make sure we're good to go to close. We get a response, yes, we're good to go to close. So we're like, okay, where's the settlement statement? So no response, communication is trash. So it's just a whole bunch of nonsense. So right now at this point on Monday, we're like, okay, it's 48 hours. It's Monday. We got a closing date set for Wednesday. We asked you guys if we're good to go to close. You guys say yes. Okay, cool. We still don't have any settlement statement. So maybe you guys don't operate like that. I don't know. So we're like, okay, whatever. We'll check tomorrow. So Tuesday comes. So we're reaching out. Hey, we're just checking in. This is the day before closing. Hey, we're just checking in to make sure that we're still good to go to close on tomorrow, which is Wednesday at 12 o'clock, blah, 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 blah. We haven't gotten a settlement statement. Are we good? They go, yeah, we're good. No problem. Now, come to find out, they start asking us for information later on that day. So later, Tuesday afternoon, they asked us for the LLC, the operation agreement, and the LLC information from our buyer. Like, why the fuck are you guys asking us for this? So we reached out to the buyer and was like, hey, buyer, they need your LLC, your operation agreement, all these different things. So the buyer sent that to him like immediately, same day. So my thing is, why the fuck y'all didn't reach out for that shit like last week or a week ago, 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago when the file first opened? So right there, that shit was a little sketchy. So we're like, whatever, maybe they'll close it out, whatnot. So Wednesday morning comes. We still don't get a HUD statement or a settlement statement. We reaching out to them. Hey, we haven't gotten any settlement statements. Are we still good to go to close today at 12 o'clock? We reached out to them at 9 a.m. when they open. So they tell us, yeah, we're still good to go to close. Right? So they end up sending us a settlement statement. Just seems like they pushed it out, rushed it, sent us a settlement statement that same day. And then they sent the buyer a settlement statement. So I drive to the closing table. It took me about an hour to get there, so I'm tight because I had to drive all the way out here. So I meet the seller up there. When I get there, the seller, he's already signing documents and things like that. So they telling the seller that he's going to get funded the same day at like 1 p.m. So we're like, well, and then they said that the buyer needed to sign some documents in order for them to release the funds. So us knowing and working with this buyer, we already know that they still need that 48 hours to release the funds. So what we did was, after we left the closing, so essentially the seller closed and signed his paperwork to give away the property, essentially, signed away his parts of the property, his paperwork, his side. So we reached out to the buyer. We was like, hey, seller signed today. Just want to check to make sure, check to see. The attorneys stating that, you guys need to fill out some documents or sign some documents or whatever, anywhere we can close today. So the buyer goes, well, no, they only sent us the settlement statement. We got a whole package that they need to send us. So we like, what? So you guys didn't even send them everything that they needed to close? So now we got to fucking tell the seller, like, hey, you're not getting paid today. You know what I mean? You may not get paid today. So you actually signed paperwork stating that you sold your property and you're not going to get funded today. So we like, okay, let's dig deeper into this a little bit. So we already know he's not going to get paid today. So worst case scenario, he might get paid on Friday, which is today, 2 days later, 48 hours. So the buyer gets the settlement statement, gets all the documents they need. They review it today, and then that's 48 hours. They could close on Friday. So we like, okay, we can push that and make something shake, and work with the seller on that. So we reached out to the buyer, and they were saying, yeah, we need the documents. The attorney only sent us the settlement statement. We need everything else. And yeah, we can't close today. We got to close on the 22nd like we initially talked about. What? So you talking about another 6 days until they can actually close. So you saying that the seller signed for the paperwork on Wednesday and cannot get his money until the next Tuesday. What sense does that make? So essentially what this attorney, they didn't check with the buyer at all to make sure that the closing date worked for all parties. So the closing date worked for the seller on Wednesday when we asked for it the previous week, but they didn't check with the buyer and say, hey, can we close this out on the 16th? So essentially, this is all this communication that's being done we're doing the work essentially, because we're talking to the buyer, we're talking to the seller. So the attorney dropped the ball big time. So now it's a situation like, damn, we got to tell the fucking seller that you're not going to get your money until next week, till 6 days to the 22nd. Like, how the hell are we going to do that after this attorney told him that, hey, you'll get your funds same day, you'll get it today, whatever. So he reached out. He said, hey, man, I haven't got my funds yet. What's going on? Is everything good? So I'm like, oh, shit, here we go. So now we doing a deep dive. We trying to dig and trying to see like what the fuck is going on. So essentially this attorney is incompetent. The communication is terrible. So we going back, sending emails back and forth, and they try to use them asking for the LLC as a reason on why the shit didn't go as planned. Well, you guys, we asked you guys for the LLC information yesterday, blah, blah, blah. And who told you that you can't close until the 22nd? So we said, well, you should have asked for the LLC information weeks ago. And the person who told us they can't close until the 22nd is the people who was fucking buying the property. So come to find out, one, they don't know what the fucking assignment is. This is an assignment deal. It's not a double close. It's nothing crazy. It's an assignment. It should be easy transaction. It should be easy. But they made it so complicated. So fast forward back to the seller now. So now we got to kind of inform the seller like, hey, man, you're not going to close on this until you're not going to get paid until, next Tuesday. So what do? What we did, I told the seller, I talked to Mike. I said, Mike, here's what we're going to do. We're going to call the seller. We're going to put him on the phone on three-way. But we're going to tell the seller to be quiet. And the reason why is because I don't trust the attorney to tell the seller the truth of what actually happened. Because the attorney dropped the ball. It is their job to make sure that everything is in place. This is what they get paid to do. It's their job to make sure that everything goes as planned. So what we did was we called the seller, put the seller on three-way, told him to sit quiet. We called the attorney and we talked to the attorney. So we on the phone with the attorney. So first couple times they didn't want to answer the phone. They put us on hold for a long time. So then the attorney, so we said, hey, we call him back. This is urgent, da-da-da-da. So now they answer the phone. So we get on the phone. So I'm talking to the lady, the attorney. I said, hey, can you please explain to me why you guys confirmed a closing date and had the seller come in today knowing that he's not going to get funded today? Why? What sense does that make? Well, we thought that, the seller, you guys are just setting up for the seller to sign today and not the buyer. Who does that? Why? Why would anybody sign away their property if they're not going to get paid that same day? It doesn't make sense. The only way I see that making sense is if the seller says, hey, I'm going out of town for the next 3 weeks. I'm assigned today and then I can get paid later. I don't mind that. That's the only way it makes sense to me. But I don't see how that makes sense. So they were starting to say, well, we thought that, it was okay, blah, blah, blah. And they started to say, well, you guys tried to schedule a closing date, whatever. Hey, it's your job to make sure that the buyer and the seller and everything is on point as far as the closing is concerned. So come to find out, they eventually admitted that it was a miscommunication from the intake person, because that's what happened. So initially, when we sent them the file to open up escrow, our buyer sent them that packet, the PDF for everything that they need to close. The person was the intake person, was a completely different person, didn't forward that information over to the closer or to the pre-closer. So that's where the ball was dropped. That's where the ball was dropped. And then the lady even said on the phone, the attorney, she said, well, I just opened up this file yesterday. I just started on it yesterday. So the seller's on the phone. We like, okay, yeah, you guys admit that you guys fucked this shit up all the way. Because now when we have a conversation with the seller, it's not like, oh, you guys are bullshitting. You know what I'm saying? So he heard the whole nine. You know what I mean? So essentially, that's how we kind of solved the problem, right? You know, it wasn't our fault, but we had addressed it, put the seller on three-way, told him to shut the hell up and just listen to us explain the situation, or have them explain how they screwed this up, and whatnot. So then she was like, then I told her, I said, well, how can we explain this to the seller, like to where it makes sense that you guys dropped the ball because you guys missed your communication? Are you guys going to be able to do that? Can you guys call him and inform him of what happened? So they said, yeah, you know, we'll give him a call and let him know. So come to find out, so I reached out to the seller yesterday, because this was on Wednesday. So I reached out to the seller yesterday. I said, hey, you know, did they call you? And he was like, yeah. And I was like, and I knew that it wasn't the same story. They told him something completely different than what they actually told us. So I knew that was going to happen, because we didn't trust him. So, he's okay with it because he understands that it's not our fault. So he's not pissed off at us. If anything, he's pissed off at the attorney. So, you know, that's what I learned in this. It's like, okay, full transparency. You know what I'm saying? Full on transparency. If you know you're not in the wrong at all, if the attorney is in the wrong, get the fucking seller on the phone, tell him to sit quiet, or tell her to sit quiet on three-way while you dig it out and handle it, so they can see what really happened. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you know 100% that you're not in the wrong. And in this situation, we knew 1,000% that we weren't in the wrong, because the attorneys are paid, the title companies are paid to make sure that the closings go as it should go. There's no way in hell why they should be bringing in a seller to sign one day, and then the fucking buyer is not going to sign or fund the property or fund the seller until 6 days later. That doesn't make any fucking sense. You see what I'm saying? So they dropped the ball on that. The following day, I followed up with them. We followed up with them and seen if they filled out the packet and sent the buyer everything that they needed. So they copied us in the emails and like, hey, yeah, we sent everything that the buyer needed. So the seller, he's okay with us. You know what I'm saying? So he's going to get funded on Tuesday. So at the end of the day, it's going to get done. But, you know, it's just something I just wanted to kind of tell you guys about. Like, this is the real shit that be going on behind the scenes. So you got to deal with trying to find sellers. You got to deal with negotiating with sellers. You got to deal with putting sellers on contract. You got to deal with finding buyers. You got to deal with negotiating with buyers. Then you got to deal with the fucking title companies and the closing attorneys to make sure that the deals get closed. That's part of the shit that they don't tell you, or that you don't see on social media or YouTube and all that shit. That's the part of the shit that you got to start dealing with after you start working and closing deals. But at the end of the day, you always just got to find a solution. At the end of the day, find the fucking solution. The solution is not just with you and the seller and their situation. It's with you actually getting the deal to the finish line. That way the seller could get their money like they initially agreed to get. So, but yeah, I just wanted to jump on here with that real quick. You know what I'm saying? Anybody got any questions about any of that shit? You know, that's pretty much how we handled it. You know, we were just full on transparent, told the seller, hey, let's get on the phone. And me and Mike, we hashed it out with the attorney on the phone to have them admit it was their fault on the phone with us. So that way, if they were to call the seller, it wouldn't be, if it was a different story, the seller would know who's the liar. You know what I'm saying? So that was the way that we solved that. And it's going to work out. It's just delaying our closing a little bit. So we got to wait another we gotta wait till next week for the closing. But other than that, as long as the seller gets money, I'm good. What title company was that? That title company was Luter, Larkin, and Hunter in Douglasville, Georgia. Luter, Larkin, and Hunter. They're terrible. Terrible. Terrible, 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 terrible. But yeah, anybody got any questions about that stuff? If not, then that's cool. But yeah, I just wanted to vent and kind of tell you guys the bullshit that went down this week. But it's part of the game. You're gonna get you're gonna run into shit like this. Not every closing is smooth. Every closing is gonna be different. So you just gotta be able to handle it, push through, and make it happen. You know what I mean? You can't, when you get punched in the face, you can't be like, dang, oh man, you know what I mean? You just gotta push through. But yeah, if you guys don't have any questions about anything, was the seller still happy at the end of the day? Yeah, the seller is cool. I mean, because I was cool with the seller. You know what I'm saying? Me and him got a good relationship. We got a good rapport. I actually did a video on my page with me negotiating with the seller before I got him under contract, which is cool. Hold on one second. But yeah, he's cool with it. I just texted him. I said, hey man, everything looks good. They sent over the paperwork. It's just full on transparency. Like I sent them an email and let them know, and copied him in the email too, just checking in, say, hey, did you guys send over those documents to the end buyer? But yeah, he was like, I appreciate your commitment to ensuring that everything goes well. So he fucks with me. Yeah, so he's okay, man. I'm just fully transparent with everybody. At the end of the day, that's the best way to be. Keep it honest. That way you don't have to keep making up bullshit for bullshit. You know what I'm saying? So I'm full transparent when it comes to this. Like, you got to think about it. You're dealing with people selling houses. It's not selling cookies. You know what I'm saying? You're selling houses. So you got to be full on transparent with everything that goes on. Even if it may cost you a deal, just be transparent, because at the end of the day, when you're transparent, you can feel good about it. You know what I'm saying? And then you put the ball in their court. Let them deal with this, make the decision on whether or not they want to continue to work with you or not. This does happen and it's so frustrating. Imagine being at the office. Yeah, fuck that office, man. Are you always this calm when you're on the phone? Because I would have lost my shit. Well, you got to be professional. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, because if you're not professional, you're yelling and hollering and screaming and cussing, nothing's going to get done. So you just got to be professional, be a little sarcastic, have a little tone, a little bit of aggressive tone, but just to let them know that you're not fucking around. But, we don't get crazy. You know what I'm saying? Because you got to still understand the deal ain't done yet. So you have to be professional. You have to be respectful and shit like that. But they understand. Just business. But yeah, that's my story. You guys should see us close on this next week at some point on Tuesday. But yeah, so I'm off of this. You guys, I just took an edible. I'm about to go eat. I'm about to get lit real quick. I'm enjoying my Friday. I'm done. But yeah, you guys enjoy the rest of your day. I'm gonna post this up, so don't worry. If you missed it, I'm gonna post it, so just be sure to tap in. And yeah, I'll probably put it on YouTube and shit, but it's gonna be on my page for a little bit. But yeah, I'm gonna save it. I'm gonna post it on the page. But yeah, you guys enjoy the rest of your day. Y'all be great. I'll see you in the next time.